some of the basic things. Okay. So I think this data engineering, everything that will start from Azure Data Factory. So first, let's talk about what is Azure. Okay. So Azure is basically it's a cloud platform, we can say. So in the cloud, like this is been provided by Microsoft. And in this here, we can do any kind of, you know, all kind of activities. Like there are many tools available in Azure. Okay. So like starting from the data ingestion, starting from data modeling, any kind of things we can do it Azure. So what is the difference is like previously before the cloud came into the picture. So there are all the servers, all the FTPs, everything was there. That is on premises. Like everybody has their individual resources, and in that resources we have to take the license and we have to use that. But now in Azure, in cloud, everything is simple. Like in a single place, we can get everything, and the cost is also reduced. So that is the main purpose. The cost is the main purpose, also the kind of, you don't have to take a subscription of entire thing. You just have to I mean rent something basically, and you have to use it. Okay, so that is the main purpose of using Azure. So I'm comfortable both in English and Odia. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in any language. Okay, so basically that is the use of Azure. And today we'll start the Azure Data Factory. So Azure Data Factory. So before that, I'll just explain you few of the prerequisites for this. Okay. So what are the resources or what are the necessary things for Azure Data Factory? First of all, like to access the resources. So resources means I'll talk you what is the resources. So resources means anything like if you need some platform. Let's talk about this Azure Data Factory. So Data Factory, that is a resource inside Azure. Okay, so anything like suppose you can say that it's a virtual machine, or else forget about it. I think you have cleared that SQL thing. So suppose you want to write your SQL query inside this Azure. So there is a resource called Azure SQL. Okay, so everything is there. So basically, all the resources are already there inside the Azure platform. So you can use those resources for your activities, or if you want to implement something, or if you want to execute something, then you can use it. You just only need to you know get account in the Azure. Basically, if in the organization level, if you need, then you have to get the account, then you have to get the access inside that subscription, and then you can use it. So let me share my screen. I'll explain you what are the prerequisites. Okay. So first we'll discuss what is Azure subscription. Okay. Azure subscription କଣ ହଉଛି କି before starting anything ତ ଆମକୁ ଗୋଟେ subscription ନବାର ଅଛି. Okay, because without taking ଯେମିତି ଆମେ କିଛି ବି ଗୋଟେ service use କରିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛେ ତାକୁ subscription ନବାର ଅଛି. It can be Netflix, it can be Amazon Prime, anything similar to that. ଯଦି ଆମକୁ କିଛି ଗୋଟେ use କରିବାର ଅଛି, କିଛି ଗୋଟେ implement କରିବାର ଅଛି, then you have to take the subscription because nothing is free, right? So you have to take the subscription. So ସେଥିପାଇଁ ରହୁଛି Azure subscription. Once you take some subscription, I mean you have to pay something. There are different levels of subscriptions are there. So we'll not go into that because that is not part of this. You need to know what is subscription. So basically it's a primary unit for billing and invoice. So basically what kind of subscription, who type of subscription તમે નવ that is the main part. Okay. So that is you need to know only subscription. That is not your part. Like mostly admin team, they are just taking care of all these Azure subscriptions. What subscriptions then have to take, and they have to add you into that subscription so that see subscription under a जो भी resources अच्छी you can access. Okay, so basically function, if you see, it's defined a resource limits and quotas, and serves as a top level container in the hierarchy. Relationship, a single Azure account can have multiple subscriptions. So if you have one account, you can part of the multiple, you can take the multiple subscription, or ଯଦି ମୁଁ organization level ରେ କହିବି, you can be part of multiple subscriptions. Okay, then ହଉଛି scope କଣ ଅଛି? Scope basically it is used to manage and control the cost at high level basically. So basically subscription କଣ ପାଇଁ ସେମାନେ use କରନ୍ତି? Basically billing purpose ପାଇଁ ଆମେ use ହଉଛି। ମାନେ ଯେମିତି ଯେତେବେଳେ ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜେସନ ଲେଭେଲରେ କଣ ହଉଛି ନା, ଜଣେ ସପୋଜ ଆମେ ସବସ୍କ୍ରିପସନ ନେଲୁ, ସେଇ ସବସ୍କ୍ରିପସନରେ କେତେ ବିଲ୍ ହେଲା, ଓକେ, ବେସିକାଲି वी आर गेटिंग द बिल एवरी डे, କାହିଁକିନା ଆଜିଓର ଆମର ପେ ଆଜ ୟୁ ଗୋ ମଡେଲ ହିସାବରେ କାମ କରେ। सो पे एज यू गो ମାନେ ଯେତିକି ତମେ ୟୁଜ କରିବ ସେତିକି ତମକୁ ପେମେଣ୍ଟ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ। ଇଟ ମେ ବି ଲାଇକ ଥାଏ କି ମାନେ ଏଭ୍ରି ମିନିଟ ଯେତିକି ତମେ ୟୁଜ କରୁଛ, ଯେତିକି ରିସୋର୍ସେସ ୟୁଜ କରୁଛ, ଯେତିକି ଷ୍ଟୋରେଜ ୟୁଜ କରୁଛ, ସେଇ ଅନୁସାରେ ତମକୁ ପେ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ, which is good। ତମେ ଗୋଟେ ମିନିଟ ପାଇଁ ୟୁଜ କରୁଛ, ଦେନ୍ ଗୋଟେ ମିନିଟ ପାଇଁ ତମକୁ ପେ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ। ତମେ 1 ଆୱାର ପାଇଁ ୟୁଜ କରୁଛ, ଦେନ୍ 1 ଆୱାର ପାଇଁ ତମକୁ ପେ କରିବାକୁ। ଇଟ୍ସ ନଟ୍ ଲାଇକ କି 1 ଡେ କି 1 ମନ୍ଥରେ ଯାହା ବି ସବସ୍କ୍ରିପସନ ନେଲ ୟୁ ହାଭ ଟୁ ପେ ଦ୍ୟାଟ। ଦ୍ୟାଟ ଇଜ ୱାଇ ଇଟ ଇଜ ଭେରି ଭେରି ଚିପ୍। ଓକେ, so basically, these are the types if you see pay as you go, free trial, enterprise agreements. So pay as you go mean ଯେତିକି ଆମେ suppose ଗୋଟେ subscription ନେଲେ and ଆମେ ଏଇ mode ଟା select କଲେ pay as you go, then ଆମକୁ ଆମେ ଯେତିକି ୟୁଜ କରିବା, ଓକେ, ସେତିକି ଆମକୁ ପେ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ। Okay, that has been calculated, so tax वगैरह ଅଛି, that is calculate हुए, that is fine। And then we have free trial। free trial means whenever first ତମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ Azure account ଗୋଟେ open କରିବ, it will give you 30 days free trial, so that you can explore all the resources, all kind of active directories or Entra ID, everything you can access it. It is free for you for 30 days. Okay, there are few services also which is free lifetime. Okay, but almost all the features are free for the first 30 days. That is a free trial. Then our enterprise agreements, that is only for the organization purpose. So if you want to open something, I mean, basically organization level, when they take some subscriptions, at that time there is something called enterprise agreements. Because enterprise agreements, there is some high level of SLA। SLA means service level agreement जोटा था, जोटा कि तामको मैंने कोई था कि मैं 99% टाइम आई विल प्रोवाइड यू दैट विदाउट माने बिना आउटेज रे हमें ताको सर्विस टा प्रोवाइड करिया। ओके, so these are the basics of some Azure subscription। So before, so simple term, before before trying to use any of the resources, you have to take subscriptions. Okay, so that you can access all kind of resources, all kind of benefits which is coming under the Azure। Okay, set up subscriptions, simple term। So এটা বুঝিয়ালা Azure subscriptions। So first things we have to take the subscription। Okay, while before starting some of the resources, so we have to take the Azure subscription।
ପିଲାମାନେ ଏତିକି ବୁଝିପାରିଲ ନା କାହାର କ'ଣ ଡାଉଟ୍ ଅଛି ସବସ୍କ୍ରିପସନ୍ ବିଷୟରେ? ଯେମିତି ତମେ ନେଟଫ୍ଲିକ୍ସ ୟୁଜ୍ କଲେ ସବସ୍କ୍ରିପସନ୍ ନେଉଛ ନୂଆ ନୂଆ ମୁଭିଜ୍ ଦେଖିବା ପାଇଁ, ସେ ଏଜରେ ମଧ୍ୟ ତମକୁ ସବସ୍କ୍ରିପସନ୍ ନେବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ, ସୋ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ତମେ ରିସୋର୍ସ ୟୁଜ୍ କରିପାରିବ। ରିସୋର୍ସ ମାନେ ତମେ ଡେଟା ଇଞ୍ଜିନିୟରିଂ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି କରିପାରିବ ସବସ୍କ୍ରିପସନ୍ ନେଲେ ହିଁ। ତ ସାହାଯ୍ୟ କହିଲେ ଟାଇପ୍ସ ଆର୍ ଅଛି, ପେ ଏଜ୍ ୟୁ ଗୋ, ଫ୍ରି ଟ୍ରାଏଲ୍, ଏଣ୍ଟରପ୍ରାଇଜ୍ ଏଗ୍ରିମେଣ୍ଟସ୍। ହେଲା, ତ ଆମେ ଫ୍ରି ଟ୍ରାଏଲ୍ରେ କାମ କରିବା ସମସ୍ତେ। ତ ଇଣ୍ଡଷ୍ଟ୍ରି ଯିବ, ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଟାଇମ୍ ୟୁ କ୍ୟାନ୍ ୟୁଜ୍ ଏଣ୍ଟରପ୍ରାଇଜ୍ ଏଗ୍ରିମେଣ୍ଟସ୍ ଅର୍ ପେ ଏଜ୍ ୟୁ ଗୋ। କାହାର କ'ଣ ଡାଉଟ୍ ପିଲାମାନେ? ଏନି ଡାଉଟ୍ ପଚାରିପାରିବ ଓପନ୍ ଅପ୍ ହେଇକି। ଜିତିନ୍ ସାର୍ ଇଜ୍ ଅଲୱେଜ୍ ରେଡି ଟୁ ହେଲ୍ପ ୟୁ ଗାଇସ୍। ହେଲା,
Yeah, any doubt you can ask। Okay, in if you want to ask in odia also, that's fine। No, କିଛି ଅସୁବିଧା ନାହିଁ।
ଓକେ।
Okay। Then we'll discuss what is resource group। Okay, so resource group କଣ ହଉଛି? It's a logical container that holds related resources for an Azure solution। So basically ଏଟା ଗୋଟେ logical container ଯୋଉଟା କି ଆମେ ବହୁତ ସାରା resources ଏଠି ରଖିପାରିବା। So basically it's a container for resources। Okay, so so in a layman term I can say that resource group is nothing but a folder। Okay, basically I'm trying to make you understand resource group ଟା କଣ actually। So suppose ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ ସବସ୍କ୍ରିପସନ ନେଲେ, ଓକେ, ସବସ୍କ୍ରିପସନ ଦ୍ୱାରା ମୁଁ ଚାହିଁବି ଏବେ କି ମତେ ଗୋଟେ Azure Data Factory ଟା ୟୁଜ କରିବାର ଅଛି। ଓକେ, so how to use that? I cannot go and directly open that and I can use it। So basically ସେଟା ଆମେ କରିପାରିବାନି। So I have to do, ମତେ ଗୋଟେ ତାର ଇନଷ୍ଟାନ୍ସ କ୍ରିଏଟ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ। ଇନଷ୍ଟାନ୍ସ ମାନେ ଦେଖ ଗୋଟେ ସବସ୍କ୍ରିପସନ ତାକୁ ବହୁତ ଜଣ ୟୁଜ କରୁଛନ୍ତି। ଓକେ, ସୋ ମତେ ଫାଷ୍ଟ କରି କଣ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ, ତାର ଗୋଟେ ଇନଷ୍ଟାନ୍ସ ମାନେ ତାର ଗୋଟେ ନେମ୍, ଗୋଟେ ଯାଇକି ଆଜର ସବସ୍କ୍ରିପସନ କୁ ଆମେ ଆଜର ଡେଟା ଫ୍ୟାକ୍ଟରି କୁ ଯାଇକି ସେଠି ଗୋଟେ ମତେ ଗୋଟେ ଟାଇପ ର वी कैन से ଆକାଉଣ୍ଟ, ଓକେ ନଟ୍ ଆକାଉଣ୍ଟ, इट्स a kind of ଗୋଟେ ନେମ୍ ଦେଇକି କି ମୋ this works, this Azure data factory resources for me, ଓକେ। ଦେନ୍ ଇନଷ୍ଟାନ୍ସ କ୍ରିଏଟ କଲା ପରେ ଦେନ୍ ଆମେ କଣ କରିବା ନା ତାକୁ କୋଉଠି ଷ୍ଟୋର କରିବା। ସୋ ଷ୍ଟୋର କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଗୋଟେ ଇନଷ୍ଟାନ୍ସ କ୍ରିଏଟ କଲେ ଆଇ ହାଭ ଟୁ ଷ୍ଟୋର ଦ୍ୟାଟ, ରାଇଟ୍। ସେ ଯୋଉ ଷ୍ଟୋର କରିବା ଦ୍ୟାଟ ସୁଡ ବି ଇନସାଇଡ ଅ ଫୋଲ୍ଡର। ତ ସେଇ ଯୋଉ ଫୋଲ୍ଡର ଦ୍ୟାଟ ଇଜ କଲ୍ଡ ଏ ରିସୋର୍ସ ଗ୍ରୁପ। ଓକେ, ସୋ ବେସିକାଲି ତମେ ହାଇରାର୍କି ଟା ବୁଝ, ଗୋଟେ ସବସ୍କ୍ରିପସନ ଅଣ୍ଡରରେ we can have multiple resource groups, okay, and ଗୋଟେ resource group ଭିତରେ we can have multiple resources, and resource group ରେ ଗୋଟେ layman term ରେ I can tell you what is a resource group, it's a folder। ସେ ଫୋଲ୍ଡର ଭିତରେ ଆମେ ମଲ୍ଟିପଲ ରିସୋର୍ସେସ୍ କୁ ଷ୍ଟୋର କରିପାରିବା। ओके, so this is why it is called a resource group। so resource group ମାନେ କଣ ହଉଛି, it's a logical container। container means it contains multiple resources and it functions are କଣ ରହୁଛି, resources within a group share the same life cycle। so basically ଗୋଟେ resource group under ରେ ଯେତିକି ବି resource ରହୁଛି, ओके, बिकज ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଗୋଟେ ରିସୋର୍ସ କ୍ରିଏଟ କରିବା ଇଟ ୱିଲ ଅଲୱେଜ ଆସ୍କ ଫର ଦ ରିସୋର୍ସ ଗ୍ରୁପ। କାହିଁକି ନା ଯୋଉ ରିସୋର୍ସଟା ଆମେ କ୍ରିଏଟ କଲେ ତାକୁ ଆମେ କୋଉଠି ଷ୍ଟୋର କରିପାରିବା, ଇଟ ସୁଡ ବି ଇନସାଇଡ ଏ ରିସୋର୍ସ ଗ୍ରୁପ। ନହେଲେ ଆମେ ବେସିକାଲି ଆମେ ଯାହା ବି ଗୋଟେ କ୍ରିଏଟ କରୁଛେ, ତମେ ଗୋଟେ ମାନେ ପିସି ରେ ବି ଯୋଉ ବି ଗୋଟେ ଫୋଲ୍ଡର କି ଫାଇଲ କ୍ରିଏଟ କରୁଛ, ଇଟ ୱିଲ ଆସ୍କ ୟୁ ତମେ ଏଟା ଷ୍ଟୋର କୋଉଠି କରିବ। ଇଟ ମେ ବି ଡେସ୍କଟପ, ଇଟ ମେ ବି ଡକ୍ୟୁମେଣ୍ଟସ, ଇଟ ମେ ବି ଡାଉନଲୋଡ୍ସ, ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ସ ଏ ଫୋଲ୍ଡର। Similar to that, suppose ମୁଁ କହିବି କି ନାଇଁ I don't want these predefined folders, ମାନେ downloads document ଗୋଟେ ସବୁ predefined folders, right, in your PC। but suppose ମୁଁ କହିବି ନାଇଁ no no no, I just want my own folder। ସେଥିପାଇଁ I can go and create in a new folder and inside that I can keep all these resources, all these files। so basically same thing, resource scope is the same thing। it's a kind of folder। inside that folder you can keep all your resources। suppose ମୁଁ ଆଜି ୟୁଜ କରିବି କଣ ନା Azure Databricks ୟୁଜ କରିବି, Azure Data Factory ୟୁଜ କରିବି, ମତେ Azure SQL ବି ୟୁଜ କରିବାର ଅଛି, then I have to use Azure Data Lake Storage, Azure Blob Container। ସବୁ ଯାକ ମୁଁ ମୋ ନିଜ ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟରେ ୟୁଜ କରିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛି। so before creating an instance of everything it will ask you for the resource group। ମାନେ ଏଟା କ୍ରିଏଟ କଲା ପରେ ତମେ କୋଉ ରିସୋର୍ସ ଗ୍ରୁପ ରେ ଏଟାକୁ ଷ୍ଟୋର କରିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛ, that I will see that এটা କେମିତି ହଉଛି, but for now you understand that it is a kind of folder। so while creating any resources, so it will store that resources inside that resource group। okay, ବୁଝିହେଲା ଏତିକି what is a resource group, which is very very important, okay, because this is something interviewer will ask you, okay, because you all of you know that these are the basic questions। okay, what is a resource group, how you are storing that resource group, and what is the main purpose of that। so you need to know, basically you need to make them understand what is the use of this resource group। ବୁଝିହେଲା ଏଟା what is a resource group।
Yes।
okay,
ଏଇଟା ସ୍କ୍ରିନ୍ ଦେଖିଲା ପରେ ଆଉ ଟିକେ ବୁଝିପାରିବେ ପିଲାମାନେ ଆଉ।
yeah, so I'll show you how to create the resource group and all। okay। so it simplifies the management, access control, okay। RBAC ହଉଛି ମାନେ role based access control and policy applications to a specific set of resources। okay, so basically ଆମେ କଣ କହୁଛେ କରିବା ନା ମାନେ କଣ ପାଇଁ ବେସିକାଲି ଆମେ ଫୋଲ୍ଡର କ୍ରିଏଟ କରୁଛୁ, ଦେଖ ମୋ ପିସି ରେ ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ ଫୋଲ୍ଡର କ୍ରିଏଟ କରୁଛେ ବିକଜ ପିସି ଇଜ ରିଲେଟେଡ ଟୁ ଓନଲି ୟୁ। ମାନେ ଗୋଟେ ଗୋଟେ ଭର୍ଚୁଆଲ ଏନଭାୟରନମେଣ୍ଟ ଅନୁସାରେ ତମେ ବୁଝ କି ପିସି ଟା ଓନଲି ତମେ ୟୁଜ କରୁଛ, ଓକେ ଏଭ୍ରିୱାନ୍। ବଟ୍ ସପୋଜ ଇନ୍ ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜେସନ ଲେଭେଲରେ सेम पीसी कैन बी यूज बाय पीसी मींस लाइक ଯେତେବେଳେ Azure ୟୁଜ କରୁଛେ इट्स अ काइंड ऑफ ତମେ ଗୋଟେ କଣ ଗୋଟେ କ୍ଲାଉଡ ର ମେସିନ ତମେ ୟୁଜ କରୁଛ ଯୋଉଟା କି ମଲ୍ଟିପଲ ପିପଲ मींस मेनी पीपल आर आस्किंग, आई मीन मेनी पीपल आर यूजिंग दैट सिस्टम। ତ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ସପୋଜ ତମେ ଗୋଟେ ରିସୋର୍ସ ଗ୍ରୁପ ୟୁଜ କରୁଛ, ତମ ସବସ୍କ୍ରିପସନ ୟୁଜ କରୁଛ, ଗୋଟେ ସବସ୍କ୍ରିପସନ ଅଣ୍ଡରରେ ମଲ୍ଟିପଲ ରିସୋର୍ସ ଗ୍ରୁପ ଅଛି, ଆଣ୍ଡ ଯଦି ଆମେ ଚାହିଁବା କି ୟୁ ଓନଲି ୟୁ ୱାନ୍, ସପୋଜ ସମୱାନ୍ ଲାଇକ୍ let's take someone's name like Aditya Prasad. Okay, he wants to suppose mu koibi ki nahi, he will be only accessing this resource group. He cannot access other resource group. I'll just provide the I'll just grant permission to only one resource group. Then I can grant him. Similarly, mu koibi ki nahi, someone like Alok is there. So mu koibi ki nahi, Alok only can use this one resource group. He cannot use other resource group. So see, resource group level, we can provide the permission. We can grant the permission so that say resource group under the jo bhi resources achi, you can access that. So until and unless admin number je achandi. So admin ଯଦି କହିବ କି ନାଇଁ ମୁଁ I just want you to provide access to that subscription. So subscription level access means you can access all the resource groups. But suppose ମୁଁ କହିବି କି ନା ନା I just want you to view that access, view that subscriptions, what are the resource groups are available. ତମମାନେ ସେଇ resource group ଟା access କରି view କରିପାରିବ but you cannot access it. So then you cannot access all the resources which are present under the one resource group. Okay, so basically these are the admin things. So you need to some basic things you need to know. Suppose someone will ask you, suppose you have to provide the access, then how you are going to manage it. So basically you should have access to that resource group. Also, you should have access to that resources under that resource group. I mean, if you have the access to resource group, then you by default you have access to all the resources available under that. Okay, so for first thing you have to Azure subscription access there. Okay, you should part of that. Then under that you should part of that resource group which is going to be used. Okay, which you are going to be used. Okay, so ବୁଝିଗଲା ସମସ୍ତ resource group ଟା କଣ? Then I will move to the next topic.
Yes.
Okay, fine. This can- okay. So these are the like resources, what is the organization life cycle and all. So resource group, I think it would be better, I'll show you how to create the resource group. It would be better, like you can get some idea. Okay, so meanwhile if you have any questions you can ask me. Okay. Mm. This one. Oh, these are two. Yes.
ଏଇଟା ଟିକେ କନଫ୍ୟୁଜନ୍ ହେଉଛି, ନହେଲେ ଅଡ଼ିଓଟା କରିଦିଅନ୍ତୁ, ଅଡ଼ିଓଟା ଇଜି ରହୁଛି।
Okay, audio okay, okay, this one, right?
ହଁ ହଁ,
देखिए ट्राई करिए होती
ଟ୍ରାଏ
नहीं।
କରନ୍ତୁ ଦେଖିଆ।
नहीं,
ନାଇଁ,
ऑडियो टा हाँ। Hmm, no. Just this. Okay, finally it is done. Sir, can you send me the code?
हाँ, जस्ट a minute.
Shall I resend?
ଟିକେ ରୁହନ୍ତୁ, ମୁଁ ମେଲଟା ଲଗ୍ଇନ୍ କରୁଛି।
Okay.
ଆଚ୍ଛା, ଏଇଟା 381575 କଲେ?
575.
ହଁ।
Yeah. No. Okay. Sign in, timed out. Sign in again. Okay. Oh, no, no, no. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Okay. So, so are you able to see my screen right now? So this is the Azure portal. So whenever you will log in to portal.azure.com, so for this you need a account, Microsoft account. So everyone, you have to create a Microsoft account, and once you have, then you can access this portal.azure.com. Okay. So first of all, like we'll discuss, this is the how the UI looks like, the main page that looks like we have all the Azure services. If you go here, these all are the options. We have the function app, we have the resource groups, we have the resources. Okay. And if you see here also, like we have all these like data breaks, data factories, resource groups, then we have virtual machines. There are more services. If you click on this, there are a lot of services is there are provided by Microsoft Azure. Okay. So if you see like AI plus machine learning, there are a lot of resources. So what you have to do is, if you know some resources, you can directly go and search here. Okay, you can go and you can search it. So coming to the home page, So first of all, that we'll discuss like what is the subscriptions. If I'll talk, click on the subscriptions, it is coming under the resource manager. So we have only one subscription, like Azure subscription one, which is a trial version of subscription, trial subscription, free trial, and basically this is subscription ID and cost and everything is coming. Okay, okay. So this is the global administrator and this is the subscription. If I click on this subscription, or we have all these details like all the subscription name, status, parent, everything. So basically ଆମେ जो subscription ନେଇଛେ ତାର ମାନେ ତା details ପୁରା ଯଦି ଆମେ ଚାହିଁବା, then you can use this. Okay, you can use this one. But after that, once you have subscription, ତାପରେ ମୁଁ କଣ କହିଥିଲି like ଗୋଟେ ଆମର resource group. Okay, so resource group ମାନେ suppose ଆମକୁ ଗୋଟେ resource group create କରିବାର ଅଛି. So what we have to do, you have to go to here, you can see this is a resource group. Okay, it may or may not be visible to you on this because I have already used, that's why it is visible to me. Suppose ତମକୁ ଏଟା visible ହଉନି, ତମେ directly ଯାଇବ ଏଠି search କରିପାରିବ resource group. Okay, okay, resource groups, you can see here resource groups. Okay, so first ଆମେ କଣ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ, before starting anything you have to create a resource group, I told you. So ଆମକୁ ଗୋଟେ subscription ଭିତରେ you have to create a resource group. So let's go to here resource groups. Okay, so I've already created, so let me try to create a new one. Okay, I'll create here, create a new resource group. So whenever you are going to create a new resource group, it will ask you under which subscription you have to create. So basically you, if you have multiple subscriptions, then you can select here. I mean, the only because it am only one subscription. Okay, that's why it is showing only this subscription. Suppose amaro multiple subscriptions ହେଇଥାନ୍ତା, then ଏଠି ଆମର multiple options show କରିଥାନ୍ତା, right? So by default it is coming under this, but if you have multiple subscriptions, then we can have multiple subscription options. Then ଆମେ କଣ କରିବା ନା, ଏଠି ଗୋଟେ name ଦବା. Basically it is asking to name because ଆମେ ଯେହେତୁ already ଗୋଟେ subscription under ଗୋଟେ process project start କରିବାକୁ ଯାଉଛେ, then we have to create the resource group first. So ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ resource group create କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ. Okay, so let's start. Let's give we can say that ADF practice resource group. Okay, sorry, ADGI, right? ADF, let's say. Okay, so basically Azure Data Factory practice. I just give the name. You can give any name. It's not any like think you can give any name as per your convenience. Then a region. So basically, in which region you have to create. Basically, that region for now you can keep it US East, or else like you can keep as per your beneficial. You have to create. Like if you want to Central US or West or East, that is up to you. Okay. So let me go to the next. So once you have selected the name, okay, you have selected a subscription, then you have given a suitable name, then you have selected the region, then you have to go to the next. Here, this is the tags. So we don't need tags. Basically, tags ଆମ କଣ ପାଇଁ ଦରକାର କି billing purpose ପାଇଁ. Basically, ଯଦି ଆମେ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ resource group ଟାକୁ ଗୋଟେ tag ରେ assign କଲେ, so that it will provide you the billing. Suppose ଆମର ଏଇ resource group ରେ ଯୋଉ resource ଗୁଡାକ ଆମେ create କରୁଛେ, ତାର every month हो कि every day हो କେତେ ସେମାନେ cost କେତେ ଆସିଲା, that we can get to know. So for now this is not needed. Okay, mostly this is taken care by the admin team because billing purpose by जो माने admin team ଥାନ୍ତି, they are taking care of all these things, so we don't need this now. Okay, then I'll click on the next. So subscription name, resource group, and then I'll click on this create. Okay, okay, so it is saying resource group created. You can see the pop-up resource group created, creating the resource group ADA practice RG and under the subscription succeeded. Then let me click on this, go to resource group. Okay, so this is the resource group. Now you can see that ଏଠି କଣ ହେଲା ନା, I told you like this is a kind of folder. So this folder got created, you can see. in a layman language, you can say it's a kind of folder you created. So once the resource group created, it is asking, there are a lot of options is there, like, activity log, access control. Here is the option, create a new resource. Here is also option. So if you want to create a new resources under this resource group, you can create it. You have to go directly here and you can create it. Okay. So it is asking what you want to create it. Okay. So basically it's a marketplace. Like these all are the resources available. So whatever the resources you need, you can create it. Suppose ମୁଁ କହିବି କି ନାଇଁ I need storage account ମତେ create କରିବାର ଅଛି. So you can go on the storage account and you can create it. Okay. You can create this storage account. So suppose ତମେ କହିବ କି ନାଇଁ I just want to create the data factory. That also data factory you can create, or you can say data bricks if you want to create that also there. Okay. So that depends, like what you want to create, it will. Here's a virtual machine data bricks. So you can go and you can create here. This is the Azure Databricks. This is the Databricks. This is the Azure Databricks, Azure services. So you can create this one. You can select it and you can use it. So Bujiala, what is the resource group? How it get created, and what are the benefits, and what is the process? କାର କିଛି doubts ଅଛି resource group ଉପରେ?
Sir, you already created a research group by you. Then why
Yeah.
you need another research group?
No, I mean, to make you understand. Okay. Because if I have created, how will I show that? Okay, you can create multiple resource group. That's not an issue. Okay. It's not like a ଗୋଟେ ଏମିତି କିଛି ନାହିଁ କି only in one subscription you can only have one resource group. We can have multiple resource groups. Okay. So I have already created mine. Okay. But yeah, to show you for the demo purpose, I created a new one.
ସୁମନ ଜିତେନ ସାର୍ ସେ ବନେଇଛନ୍ତି ଗୋଟେ ଅଲରେଡି, ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ତମକୁ ଗୋଟେ କରିକି ଦେଖେଇଲେ। ତମ ମାନେ ଏବେ କଣ କରିବ, ତମ ମାନେ ଏମିତି ମାଇକ୍ରୋସଫ୍ଟ ଏଜୁରେ ଲଗ୍ଇନ୍ କରିବ, କରିକି ଗୋଟେ ନ୍ୟୁ ଗୋଟେ ରିସୋର୍ସ ଗ୍ରୁପଟି ବନେଇବ ହେଲା, ଏମିତି
ମାନେ
ଏନଡିଏ
ସାର୍
ପ୍ରାକ୍ଟିସ ପାଇଁ।
ମାନେ ସାର୍ ଆମେ ଯେତେଟା ବି ରିସର୍ଚ୍ଚ ଗ୍ରୁପ କରିବା ସେଇ ରିସର୍ଚ୍ଚ ଗ୍ରୁପ ଅଣ୍ଡର ହିଁ ଆମେ କାମ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ।
Correct. Okay.
ରାଇଟ୍। ଏଇଟା ହାଇରାର୍କି ହିସାବରେ ଫାଷ୍ଟ ରିସୋର୍ସ ଗ୍ରୁପ ରହିବ, ତା ଭିତରେ ତମେ ସବୁ ସର୍ଭିସେସ୍ ଚୁଜ୍ କରିବ।
ଆଜ୍ଞା ସାର୍।
ଓକେ। କାହିଁକି ନା ଦେଖ ଗୋଟେ ବୁଝ ଟ୍ରାଏ କର। ସପୋଜ ମୁଁ କହିବି କି ଗୋଟେ ଡେଟା ଫ୍ୟାକ୍ଟ୍ରି, ସପୋଜ ଦେଖ ଡେଟା ଫ୍ୟାକ୍ଟ୍ରି ମୁଁ କ୍ରିଏଟ କରୁଛି। ଓକେ। ସେ ଇଏ କଣ କରୁଛି ନା, ଦେଖ ଗୋଟେ ଡେଟା ଫ୍ୟାକ୍ଟ୍ରି ମୁଁ ଅଲରେଡି କ୍ରିଏଟ କରି, ସପୋଜ ମୁଁ କହିବି ଗୋଟେ ମୁଁ ନ୍ୟୁ କ୍ରିଏଟ କରିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛି। ସୋ ଆଇ ୱିଲ୍ କ୍ରିଏଟ ନ୍ୟୁ ଡେଟା ଫ୍ୟାକ୍ଟ୍ରି। ସୋ ସିଏ ସବୁବେଳେ ପଚାରିବ କି କୋଉ, ଦେଖ ଦିସ୍ ଇଜ ଦ ହାଇରାର୍କି। ସବସ୍କ୍ରିପସନ ତା ଅଣ୍ଡରରେ ରିସୋର୍ସ ଗ୍ରୁପ। ସୋ ହାଇରାର୍କିଟା ଦେଖ ଏମିତି ଶୋ ହେଇଛି, ବିକଜ ଏଇ ସବସ୍କ୍ରିପସନ ଅଣ୍ଡରରେ କୋଉ ରିସୋର୍ସ ଗ୍ରୁପ ଅଣ୍ଡରରେ ତମେ କ୍ରିଏଟ କରିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛ। ତ ବେସିକାଲି ଆମେ କଣ କରିବା, ଯଦି ଗୋଟେ ବି କ୍ରିଏଟ କରିବା, ଦେଖ ଏଠି କଣ ନେମ୍ ଦେବା ହଉଛି, ଗୋଟେ ସପୋଜ ମୁଁ ଦେଲି ADF Geek ତେରି ନେମ୍ ସପୋଜ। ସୋ ମୁଁ ସିଏ କହିବ କି ଯଦି ସପୋଜ someone will understand like ଯଦି ADF Geek ଗୋଟେ ଆମେ କ୍ରିଏଟ କରୁଛେ ଡେଟା ଫ୍ୟାକ୍ଟ୍ରି, ସୋ ସେଟା କୋଉଠି ରହିବ। ଓକେ, where it will present। ସୋ ବେସିକାଲି ଆମେ କଣ କରିବା, we want to store it under the subscription, this subscription, under this resource group. I want to keep this resource, I want to store this resource। ଓକେ, that is why this is needed। ସପୋଜ ମୁଁ କହିବି କି ନାଇଁ ମତେ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ, ଏଠି କଣ ଏବେ ଏଇଟା କ୍ରିଏଟ ହେଇଛି, ମୁଁ କହିବି କି ନାଇଁ ମୁଁ ଏଥିରେ ଗୋଟେ କ୍ରିଏଟ କରିବି ଓନ୍ଲି ଲେଟର୍ସ ହାଇପେନ୍ସ। ଓକେ, data factory name is already taken। ଓକେ। So basically ମୁଁ କହିବି କି ନାଇଁ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ data factory ର name ଅଛି, I want to keep it in separate resource group। I can choose it here। Here you can see there are multiple resource groups। You can choose either, because a subscription under the multiple resource group ଅଛି। I can keep it in any of this resource group। That's not an issue। Okay। So similar to that, empty process way, like if you want to create some resources, then you can keep it in any resource group। You can keep that under any of the resource group।
Jitin sir,
Mhm.
you can create a resource group with runtime also.
Sorry, one time
Runtime.
runtime, no, runtime रे की create कर परिबन, because before creating this is the setup you have to do before starting any activity। Runtime means you are telling this one.
this one.
This is okay. Yeah, here you can create it. Here you can create it. But this is not runtime, right? This is, I mean, runtime is something is ଗୋଟେ process run ହଉଛି ତା ଭିତରେ ତମେ
Okay.
automatically create କରୁଛ. But ତମେ suppose ଯଦି କହିବ କି ମୁଁ ଏଠି resource group create କରିନି. Okay.
ନାଇଁ ମୁଁ କିଛି ସର୍ଭିସ ଯଦି ମୁଁ କ୍ରିଏଟ କରିବାର ଅଛି ତ ସର୍ଭିସ
Mm-hmm.
କ୍ରିଏଟ କରିବା ସମୟରେ ରିସର୍ଚ୍ଚ ଗ୍ରୁପ ଯାହା ବି ପଚାରିବ
Yes.
ତ that time I can create any research group.
Yes, yes, yes. That you can create. Here you have to click on here
हाँ
and you
हाँ
have to create.
yes
Okay.
yes.
Mm. Yeah, you can create it. That's not an issue. Suppose, okay, just save this. Suppose ମୁଁ କହିଲି କି ନାଇଁ ମତେ ଏଇଟା ଅଛି as your practice ଏଇଟା ଯୋଉ create କଲି resource group, so I'll just delete this resource group and I'll be creating a new resource group. While creating any resource I'll be creating that also you can do. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so any other questions here? Okay, so once you practice it, once you create, these are the small things. Okay, you create it, then you will get I mean, you will get all the doubts. Also, you can clarify your all your doubts. Okay, so this is like we have overview, we have activity logs. If you go to the activity logs, so basically it will show you like which resource group and what resource group is being used under this. It started and all these things. Then here it is access control. Okay, this is a basically IAM role. So just remember this one. This can be asked in the interview questions. Okay, it not only for this, not only कि ଆମେ only ଏଇଥିରେ use କରିପାରିବା. Access control means ସବୁବେଳେ ହଉଛି ଗୋଟେ access management. Suppose ଆମେ କେମିତି access ଦେବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛେ. Suppose ମୁଁ admin ଅଛି. Okay, so ମୁଁ କହିବି କି ନାଇଁ ଏଇ resource group କୁ only one person କୁ ମତେ access ମାନେ permission grant କରିବାର ଅଛି. Okay, I just want to grant only read permission to this user. Okay, then you can provide basically role assignment. If you see, this is the role assignment. Okay, these are the roles, these are the deny assignments. So all these things you have to set up. I mean, basically this is being done by the admin team, but you should know because interview ରେ କଣ ହୁଏ ନା ସେମାନେ ପଚାରନ୍ତି like what kind of access you have used, what kind of access you have, or what is IAM role. So basically a term ଟା ମନେ ରଖ. IAM means access management. Okay, IAM means access management. So if you see view my access, so what is my access? So currently there is no assignment selected. There is no assignment. Okay, error record. Okay, you are the owner. Grant full access to manage all subscription inherited. So basically we have not provided any access. So suppose ତମେ ଯଦି ଗୋଟେ organization level ରେ କାମ କରୁଛ, you can see your access. What kind of access basically you have. Okay. So suppose ମୁଁ ଏଠି କଣ କରିବି ନା download role assignment. So basically ଯାହାର ବି ମୋର access ଅଛି, ଯାହା ବି ଆମର access ଅଛି, then I can show it. I am the owner. Basically owner role ହେଇଛି, role definition is owner. Okay, ଯଦି ତମେ କିଏ ବି ଜଣେ ୟୁଜ କରୁଛ ସେଇ ଯୋଉ ସବସ୍କ୍ରିପସନ ଅଣ୍ଡରରେ କିଏ ବି ଜଣେ ୟୁଜ କରୁଛ, then that will be a tenant. Okay, ଏବେ କଣ ହେଇଛି ନା ତା ରୋଲ ଅଛି କଣ ଓନର ରୋଲ ଅଛି, ଠିକ ଅଛି। ବଟ୍ ସପୋଜ ଯଦି ଏଇ ସବସ୍କ୍ରିପସନ ଅଣ୍ଡରରେ suppose I just want to add some user and I have to provide them access, then ଏବେ ସେଠି କଣ ହବ ନା ସେ ଟେନାଣ୍ଟ ରୋଲ ହେଇଯିବ। ओके, सो ओनर इज ओनर एंड टेनांट जेमती हमर अछि ओनर एंड टेनांट। ओके, सेठी सेही टाइप रिलेशनशिप बिकॉज़ एटा कोन अछि तमे बे निजर अकाउंट क्रिएट करिवो देन यू विल बी द ओनर ऑफ दैट अकाउंट। बट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन लेवल ले कोन हबो ना सपोज एडमिन इज द ओनर और लाइक समवन विल बी द ओनर, देन you have he has to go and add the user. Basically हमर कोन हबो ना इथि ओटा azure active directory अछि। I'll not go into details but I'll just try to make you understand there is something called uh, Active Directory. Windows Active Directory. Okay. Azure Active Directory. Okay, new Azure B2 Azure Active Directory business to customer tenant. Okay, so basically, if you see here, suppose मते ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ organization account create କରିଛି and I have to create a tenant. Means ଗୋଟେ project under ରେ admin is there and you want to add some users so that user can access those resources resource group. Then you have to create a tenant. Okay, ସେ cases ରେ ତମେ ଦେଖିବ କି ତମ role ଥିବ tenant, not a owner. Okay, so there are two roles. One is owner and tenant. And the kind of role is different. Your tenant role जो था it can be different. It can be read, it can be write, it can be all those privileges can vary. Okay, what privileges you want basically, that is the activity, that is the action taken by the admin. So you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, so basically, if you want to know what is a tenant, so whoever has access to that resource group, those are the tenants. Okay, I'll not go deeper into this, but yeah, for your understanding purpose, for your knowledge, you should know what is a tenant. Owner and tenant, like ଯେମିତି ଆମେ rent ରହୁଛେ, owner tenant, similar to that, जे create करछि subscription जे account he is the owner. Suppose ସେଠି ଜଣେ ଜଣକୁ access ଦଉଛି and he has created one user and he has provided access to that resource group, then the user will be the tenant. ବୁଝିହେଲା ଏଟା?
DB and developers ଥିଲା, DB is the owner, developers କୁ permission ଦିଅନ୍ତି, ବୁଝିପାରୁଛ ନା? ସେମ୍ tenant and owner. ठीक है सर, कंटिन्यू କରନ୍ତୁ।
Okay. ठीक ଅଛି. Then next, once you create the resource group, under that you have to create the resources. Okay, so I'll just show you, but before that let's complete this one. So what are the resource constants? Like single resource can only belong to one resource group. Do you understand this? What is this? Where single group can only belong to the one resource group. That means ଯେମିତି ଦେଖିଲ ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ ନେମ୍ ଦେଲି, ସେ ନେମ୍ ଟା ଅଲରେଡି କୋ ରିସୋର୍ସ ଗ୍ରୁପ ରେ ଅଲରେଡି ୟୁଜ ହେଇ ସାରିଛି. Okay, that is why that resource cannot be, I mean same resource cannot be belong to the any other resource group. You have to give any unique name. Okay, so that is why it is saying like no, you cannot use these resources. You have to give a new name. I mean resource means Azure Data Factory resource टा जो अच्छी है हमारा, that can be used in multiple resource group but with a different name. That is what it means. I mean meaning ନୁହେଁ କି ଆମେ only ଯଦି ଗୋଟେ group ରେ Azure Data Factory use କଲେ then ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ resource group ରେ use କରିପାରିବାନି. No, nothing like that. The namings whatever you have given, that cannot be used. It cannot be like same resource cannot be used in multiple resource group. That means same name ଟା ଆମେ ଦେଇପାରିବା. While creating the resources, same जो name ଦଉଛେ, we cannot give the same name in multiple resource groups. Okay, that means then limits होची, there is a limit of 980 resources per group per subscription. तो गोटे subscription रे जो अच्छी गोटे we can have multiple resource group and multiple resource group माने maximum this is the limit like 980 resources that can be created. Okay, बुझेला? Okay, बुझेला तो चले move forward.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, then we have Azure Data Factory. Okay, so let's start. What is Azure Data Factory? So Azure Data Factory is a cloud-based data integration service designed to orchestrate and automate the data workflows. Try to understand. Okay, this is a complex term. Okay, you have not like I have not explained all these terms. Okay, so basically cloud-based data integration service. So basically Azure Data Factory ଟା କଣ, ଏଟା ଗୋଟେ ଟୁଲ ଆମର, ଗୋଟେ ରିସୋର୍ସ କହିପାରିବା, ଗୋଟେ ଟୁଲ କହିପାରିବା। ଏ ଟୁଲ ରେ ଆମେ କଣ ହଉଛୁ, ଆମେ ବେସିକାଲି ETL, ଯାହା ବି ETL activities ଅଛି ତାକୁ ଆମେ ୟୁଜ କରୁ। Okay, so first I'll talk about what is ETL. So ETL ମାନେ extract, transform and load. So what I'll do is, sorry, just a second. Okay, so ଆମର ଗୋଟେ ରହିବ କଣ, ETL. Okay, ତିନିଟା ରହୁଛି ଆମର, ETL or ELT. It can be anything. ETL. So main purpose of ETL ଗୋଟେ ETL tool, ADF ହଉଛି ଗୋଟେ ETL tool। ତମେ ମେ ବି ନାଁ ଶୁଣିଥିବ, ଯେମିତି ଆମର ରହିଗଲା ଇନଫର୍ମେଟିକା। ଓକେ, ଇନଫର୍ମେଟିକା ଗୋଟେ ଟୁଲ ଅଛି ଯୋଉଟା କି ଆମର ଗୋଟେ, ଏଟା ହଉଛି ଅନ୍ ପ୍ରିମାଇସିସ୍ ସର୍ଭର, ଯୋଉଥିରେ କି ଆମେ ଯାଇକି ସେଥିରେ ଆମେ ଯାହା ବି ETL ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିଜ କରୁଛୁ, extract, transform and load, basically ETL ର meaning। Okay, ETL tool ଏଟା ସବୁ ମନେ ରଖିଥା, because ଏଇଟା ସବୁ basics interview question, what is a ETL tool? Suppose someone will ask you what is Azure Data Factory, it is an ETL tool, okay, which is provided by Azure, and we can use this Azure Data Factory as we can perform all kind of ETL activities in Azure Data Factory. This will be your answer. Okay, what is, if someone will ask you what is Azure Data Factory, so Azure Data Factory is an ETL tool, and we can perform all kind of ETL activities in Azure Data Factory. Okay, so for the first, like if you don't know all these terms, like what is data integration, what is orchestration, what is data workflows, so this will be very complex for you. But for now, if someone will ask you what is the Azure Data Factory, you can mention, to perform all ETL related activities we are using Azure Data Factory. It is an ETL tool. Understood? What is ETL? ETL full form kona, and what is Azure Data Factory? ବୁଝିଗଲା
Yes, sir.
ଏତିକି? any doubts you can ask me, okay, ଯଦି extraction ବୁଝିବନି, ETL I'll explain you, okay, ETL କଣ ମାନେ କଣ, I'll explain you, but before that ଏଇ ଯୋଉ terms ଟା ତୁମେ ମନେ ରଖ, what is ETL? Okay, very very important for interview, because interview ରେ don't think like that, interview ରେ ଆମକୁ ସବୁବେଳେ complex question ପଚାରନ୍ତି କଣ, okay, nothing like that। interview ରେ ସବୁବେଳେ easy questions ହିଁ ପଚାରନ୍ତି, but ଆମର understanding ସେତିକି ନଥାଏ, that's why we are making it more difficult। okay, সেটা হচ্ছে মেন ଜିନିଷ। and also मेन प्रोब्लेम कौन है ना इंटरव्यू रे, लाइक आमे कौन करना टिके प्रिपेयर करना था, माने देखो एज अ डेटा फैक्ट्री, सो बेसिकली आमे जदी ट्राई करिबा कि नहीं, आई विल गिव द आंसर दिस वन, इट इज अ क्लाउड बेस्ड इंटीग्रेशन, डेटा इंटीग्रेशन सर्विस डिजाइन ऑर्केस्ट्रा, सो दिस विल बी कॉम्प्लेक्स, बिकॉज़ आमे ए विषय जान ऑर्केस्ट्रेट कौन जानि नहीं, ऑटोमेट डेटा वर्कफ्लो जानि नहीं, सो आमे को करबे उठी किछ अलगा वे रे ताको आंसर दो, इट्स एन ETL टूल, सेम थिंग, इट्स एन ETL टूल and it is used to all ETL related activities। so गोटे टर्म रे हेगला ना ETL आमे जानिया पड़ला, बट एथरे कोन तीनटा टर्म हमको जानिया पड़ुची, so which is difficult। so basically तुमको बुझिया पड़िबो कि what is Azure Data Factory, once you understand, then you can prepare your own word, own sentence to answer। you don't have to memorize something from Google or memorize something I have also written, you don't have to use this one, you can use your own words to answer, so that you will be more confident। basically confidence is also one that matters while in appearing in interview। okay, okay, so what, okay, is it removed? I don't know, yeah, okay, fine, this is ETL। so E for extraction, just try to understand, E for extraction, T for transformation, L for load। so what extraction we are doing, what transformations we are doing, what loading we are doing। सपोज मु कहबी कि मते गोटे एक्सट्रैक्ट करे अछि गोटे जगार डाटा, एक्सट्रैक्ट माने सोर्स रु गोटे जगार आनियर अछि डाटा को। ओके, जेन तमे कोन करछो, तमे गोटे भी जहा जिंस आणुछो, ओके, बाहर तमे जिंस आणुछो, ताकू तमे किछि भी ताकू सेटअप करूछो, देन ताकू लोड करूछो। ओके, माने जेमति सपोज हे गला ତମେ ଗୋଟେ assemble bed କିଣିଲ କି କିଛି ବି other things ଅଛି ଓକେ ସପୋଜ ମୋବାଇଲ କିଣିଲ ଓକେ ସୋ ମୋବାଇଲ କଣ ହଉଛି ତମେ ଗୋଟେ ଜାଗାରୁ ସୋର୍ସ ରୁ ଆଣୁଛ ଗୋଟେ ଷ୍ଟୋର କୁ ଯାଉଛ ଷ୍ଟୋର ରୁ କିଣିକି ଆଣୁଛ ଘରେ କଣ କରୁଛ ତାକୁ ସେଟଅପ୍ କରୁଛ ମୋବାଇଲ ଫାର୍ଷ୍ଟ ଯେତେବେଳେ କିଣିଲେ ସେଟଅପ୍ କରୁଛ ନା ରାଇଟ୍ ତାପରେ କଣ କରୁଛ ତମେ ଘରେ ତାକୁ ଷ୍ଟୋର କରୁଛ କି ୟୁଜ କରୁଛ ସୋ ମୋବାଇଲ ର ସୋର୍ସ କୋଉଟା ମୋବାଇଲ ଯୋଉଠି କୋଉଠି ଥିଲା ମୋବାଇଲ ଷ୍ଟୋର ରେ ଥିଲା ଷ୍ଟୋରରୁ ତମେ ପରଚେଜ କରୁଛ ପରଚେଜ କରିବା ନିଜ ଘରକୁ ଆଣୁଛ ଦେନ୍ ସେଥିରେ କଣ ଫାର୍ଷ୍ଟ କଣ କରୁଛ ତମେ ସବୁ କନଫିଗରେସନ ସେଟଅପ୍ ଯାହା ବି ତମର ଯାହା ବି ଫାଇଲ୍ସ ବଗେରା ଯାହା ବି ଅଛି ତାକୁ ସେଟଅପ୍ କରୁଛ ସେଟଅପ୍ କରିକି କୋଉଠି ଷ୍ଟୋର କରୁଛ ନିଜ ଘରେ ଷ୍ଟୋର କରୁଛ ଦେନ୍ ତାକୁ ତମେ ୟୁଜ କରୁଛ ସିମିଲାରଲି ଏକ୍ସଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟ ଏଠି କଣ ହଉଛି ତମେ ତ ଏକ୍ସଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟ କରୁଛ ମାନେ ଯୋଉ ଗୋଟେ ମୋବାଇଲ ଷ୍ଟୋର ରେ ଥିଲା ସପୋଜ ସାମସଙ୍ଗ ଷ୍ଟୋର ହଉ କି ତମର वन प्लस स्टोर हो जो भी स्टोर हो दैट इज अ सोर्स सो यू आर गेटिंग योर मोबाइल फ्रॉम द सोर्स देन ताकू आनिकी तमे घरे सेटअप करछो दैट इज अ ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन एंड स्टोर कोठी करछो सेटु आनला तमे निजे घरे स्टोर करछो एंड ताकू यूज करछो दैट इज अ लोड ओके सो एक्सट्रैक्शन ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन एंड लोड सिमिलर टू दैट जहां भी तमे अलग किछि जिंसो बेड आनुछो किनिकी आनुछो ताको असेंबल करूछो ओके ता रिक्वायरमेंट अनुसार तमे असेंबल करूछो देन ताको तमे यूज करूछो right so if you see this is the example of that extraction load and extraction transform and load okay बुझियला what is etl तमे if I'll go in the data terminology so you are getting the data from a different sources तमे एचटीटीपी रो डेटा आनुचो कि तमे किछि ऑन प्रेमिस सर्वर रो आनुचो किछि गोटे बाहर सर्वर रो तमे डेटा आनुचो ताको तमे कोन ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन करूचो ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन यू नो लाइक इन यू नो एसक्यूएल बहुत सारा ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन तुम्हें करूछ लाइक ग्रुप बाय हे गला पाइवटिंग हे गला सिलेक्ट हे गला फिल्टर हे गला देयर आर लॉट ऑफ ट्रांसफॉर्मेशंस सो यू आर परफॉर्मिंग दिस ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन तापरे कोन करूछ तुम गोटे स्टोर करूछ तुमर कोन ओराकल अछि कि माइएसक्यूएल डीबी रे तुम स्टोर करूछ दैट इज नथिंग बट अ लोड ओके यू आर स्टोरिंग समवेयर दैट इज अ लोड ओके सो दैट इज कॉल्ड एक्सट्रैक्ट ट्रांसफॉर्म एंड लोड एटा बुझियला कि नै को ओके ETL टोल कोन ETL एक्सट्रैक्शन कोन ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन कोन एंड लोड कोन और एनी डाउट्स दिस इज very important ETL tool कहना गोइंग फॉरवर्ड जहां भी तुम पढ़िबो ETL tool ही पढ़िबो ओके सेम थिंग्स यू हैव पढ़िबो बट इन अ डिफरेंट वेज हाउ कैन यू इम्प्लीमेंट आज डेटा फैक्ट्री हमें केमती ETL टूल ETL एक्टिविटीज इंप्लीमेंट करिवा आज डेटा ब्रिक्स रे केमती करिवा all these things I'll teach you but this is the basics this is the you can say that primary terms you need to know ETL कोण extract कोड करूछो transform कोण what are the activities involved in the transformation what is loading all these things you have to know clear
Sir,
Yes,
yeah
sir.
okay okay fine so basically ETL it can be ETL it can be ELT ELT रे कोन हबो ना ई एक्सट्रैक्शन लोड ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन तमे किछि आनुछो सपोज ताकू फर्स्ट स्टोर कर दोछो देन तापरे ताकू ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन करूछो ओके बेस्ड ऑन योर रिक्वायरमेंट सपोज मते दरकार कि नहीं मते डाटा टाको मुखाड़ी एक्सट्रैक्ट करी कि एबे लोड कर देबी परे मु बेतला को ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन करिवि ओके जेमति तमे कोन किछि भी जिंस आनुछो बाहरु तमे फर्स्ट किछि जदि गोटे मास रे जिंस आनुछो कोन करछो ताको हम स्टोर कर दोछो घरे देन as per your requirement तमे ताको यूज करूछो बेस्ड आई मीन ताको जहाँ भी चेंजेस करिया ता करूछो ताको यूज करूछो so it can be extract transform load it can be extract load and transform either way okay so that basically it depend करे तमरो requirement कोन अछि business requirement कोन अछि based on that you have to take this decision okay so I'll go to this terms like it is a cloud based data integration service data integration माने गोटे बाहर को डेटा को आ गोटे current data सहित integrate करूछो it's a data integration service designed to orchestrate and automate the data workflows so basically हमें orchestrate माने हमें गोटे प्रोसेस को ऑटोमेट करूछे ओके ऑर्केस्ट्रेशन माने जोटे ऑटोमेटिकली हमें डेटाटा एक्सट्रैक्ट हबो एंड ताकू हमर ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन हबो लोड हबो हमें एमती प्रोसेस टा क्रिएट करूछे कि एटा विदाउट वंस हमें क्रिएट कर देले प्रोसेस टा and without any manual intervention it will extract the data transform it and load it okay we don't have to do manually you have to create that process once and it can be used by the multiple users by the multiple applications. So that is that orchestration. So ଏ term ଟା ମନେ ରଖିଥାଅ, orchestration ଟା କଣ? ଆମେ orchestrate କରୁଛ ମାନେ suppose ତମେ କିଛି ଗୋଟେ process ନିଜେ build କରୁଛ, right? ତ ନିଜେ run କରୁଛ, ନିଜେ execute କରୁଛ, but at the end କଣ କରିବା? ଆମେ କଣ କରିବା ନା ଗୋଟେ process କୁ ଏମିତି prepare କରିବା କି ସେ automatically ସେ data କୁ capture କରିବ, data କୁ read କରିବ and data କୁ ଆମକୁ transform କରିକି load କରିବ. That will be done automatically. Okay, जोटा कि कहया गले हमरो pipeline जोटा हमें automatically सेटा execute होउची. माने it can be manual, it can be automate, but mostly application ने कोन हमें real time application रे everything is orchestrated. ସେଥିପାଇଁ orchestration use କରୁଛି. Automated workflow जोटा कहନ୍ତି, that is orchestration. Automate the data workflows. Similar to that, automate ଆମେ data भी data जो हमरो ଗୋଟେ step ଗୋଟେ stage ରୁ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ stage କୁ transfer होउची, that is nothing but a data workflows. Okay, so these are the terms basically. ए term गुडाक मन रखिता जोटा कि माने टिके advance interview रे तुमको easy हुए एटा आंसर करिया पे, but until and unless तमे तो ए term टा बुझिबनी, then it would be difficult for you to answer. ए term गुडाक orchestrate माने आमे जो data को ଗୋଟେ ଜାଗାକୁ ଆମେ ଟ୍ରାନ୍ସଫର୍ମ କରୁଛେ ସେଟାକୁ ଅଟୋମେଟ କରିଦଉଛେ, ମାନେ ଆମେ ତାକୁ ମ୍ୟାନୁଆଲି କରିପାରିବା, ବଟ୍ ଡେଟା ଫ୍ୟାକ୍ଟ୍ରିର ଗୋଟେ ଫ୍ଲେକ୍ସିବିଲିଟି ଅଛି that it can orchestrate the process. So that is why we are using orchestration, automate the data workflow. Automate ଆମେ କରିଦଉଛେ so that automatically data ଗୋଟେ source ରୁ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ destination କୁ load ହଉଛି. Okay, similar to that, it is used to collect, transform, and deliver the data, ensuring that insights are readily accessible for analytics and decision making. So these all are the complex terms. Okay, basically, a term to collect, transform, and deliver. Similar to that, collect means extract, transform means stay, and deliver the data means load. Okay, so basically same thing. We are collecting the data from a different source. Source and destination बुझी पारलो कि नहीं? Source माने तमे जोटू डाटा आणुछो, डाटा कलेक्ट करूछ, that is a source. Destination माने तमे जोटी डाटा टा स्टोर करूछ, that is the destination. Okay, clear? Shall I move to next slide? ना किछि doubts अछि?
Sir, one thing. Can we say the Azure application is for use for also the data store and ETL? The both.
Yes.
Okay.
Azure can be used for the, I mean, it is used, not can be, it is used for storing the data. Okay.
Okay.
Azure गोटे बेसिकली क्लाउड एप्लिकेशन जोटा कि आमे जेतेबेले निज कंप्यूटर रे गोटे स्टोर करछे. ओके, कंप्यूटर रे कोन अछि निज पीसी रो तार मेमोरी, व्हाट इज द मेमोरी 512 जीबी और 1 टीबी. ओके, सच काइंड ऑफ थिंग, बट सपोज we need, suppose आमे कोन करे 1 टीबी डेटा, suppose if you can see that, suppose मु कोन करबी ना गोटे लैपटॉप टा परचेज करछि एंड लैपटॉप रे कॉस्ट होछि मोर 50000 एंड सेथरे मु पाउछि 512 जीबी ऑफ स्टोरेज एंड ऑल दिस थिंग. दिस इज वेरी ह्यूज. आई मीन 50000 आमे जदी स्पेंड करी कि एते कॉस्टली गोटे लैपटॉप किनिबी स्टोर करिवा, बट एजर कोन करछि ना, नो यू डोंट हैव टू, फॉर 512 जीबी यू डोंट हैव टू पे दिस मच. तमे कोन करियो ना, ओनली यू हैव टू पे हाउ मच यू हैव यूज. सेई कॉस्ट पे तार गोटे स्पेसिफिक प्राइस अछि, गोटे कॉस्ट टैग अछि, सेई कॉस्ट रे तमे ताको स्टोर करि पारबो.
Like
ओके,
ଗୋଟେ ସେ cloud storage ଦଉଛି.
cloud storage, correct. Okay, that's a cloud storage provide କରୁଛି, which is there is no limitation, no threshold, nothing. ଏଠି ଆମର କଣ ହଉଛି, ନିଜ ସିଷ୍ଟମ ରେ କଣ ଆମେ କଣ କରୁଛେ କି ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ threshold 90% ମେଣ୍ଟେନ କରୁଛେ କି 80% କରୁଛେ, we are getting some threshold like ଏଇ process କରିପାରିବେନି, ଏଇ process implement there are lot of things we are getting alert. But in cloud it's completely 100%. Like suppose तमे ଗୋଟେ subscription नौଛ, subscription रे तमे basically तमे कहोछ कि नहीं I have to use 100 GB of data or 500 GB of data, so you are completely capable of using the full data. So you can use 500 GB of data, you can use 100, there is no threshold, nothing. Okay, ଯେତିକି ତମେ storage use କରିବ ସେତିକି price ଦବ. ଏଠି କଣ ହଉଛି, ଆମେ 512 GB use କରୁ ନ କରୁ, but you have to pay for that. But in Azure it is not like that. How much you are using, suppose 1 GB using 1 GB ରେ ତମେ pay କରିବ, 2 GB using 2 GB ରେ ତମେ use pay କରିବ. Okay, so that is how this Azure thing, Azure, or you can, it's not about Azure, there are a lot of like Azure is there, AWS there, Google Cloud is there. Okay, So IBM cloud, so all these are the clouds we are using. Okay, so basically Azure is very demanded, that's why we are using this Azure Data Factory, and for data engineering this is being used mostly. Most of the projects and most of the companies, they are using Azure Data Factory. That's why Azure is mostly popular among this data engineering. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Any other doubts? Hard takes. Okay.
Sir,
Mm-hmm.
sir, does ETL and ELT are same?
No, no, no. ETL, ELT, it's a kind of same. Okay. So ETL, the ETL
Okay.
ରେ କଣ ହଉଛି extract, transform, load. ELT ରେ କଣ ହଉଛି
Yeah.
extract, load and transform. Okay. So process is same. Process is same, but ତମର way of storing, way of transformation is different. ତମେ କୋଉଟା first କରୁଛ, କୋଉଟା ଲାଷ୍ଟ ରେ କରୁଛ, ଦ୍ୟାଟ ଡିପେଣ୍ଡସ। ଏକ୍ସଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟ ତ କରୁଛ, ବଟ୍ ତମେ ଚାହୁଁଛ କି ନାଇଁ ମତେ ଫାର୍ଷ୍ଟ ୱିଦାଉଟ୍ ଟ୍ରାନ୍ସଫର୍ମେସନ ମୁଁ ଲୋଡ୍ କରିବିନି, ଦେନ୍ ଇନ୍ ଦ୍ୟାଟ କେସ୍ ୟୁ ହାଭ୍ ଟୁ ୟୁଜ୍ ୟୁଟିଏଲ। ସପୋଜ ବିଜନେସ ରିକ୍ୱାରମେଣ୍ଟ ଅଛି କି no, you can first load, then we will see that whether we will transform or not. Okay, or else we can transform later. In that case we have to use ELT. ଆମେ କଣ କରୁଛେ, ଏକ୍ସଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟ କରୁଛେ, ଲୋଡ୍ କରୁଛେ, ପରେ ଆମେ ତାକୁ ଟ୍ରାନ୍ସଫର୍ମ କରୁଛେ। Okay, so that depends, like business requirement ଆମର କଣ ରହୁଛି, whether ELT ରହୁଛି ନା ETL ରହୁଛି, but the process is same, only the
Okay,
order
sir.
is different. So it bridges the gap between data silos, enabling users to move, transform data on premises system and cloud service. So 8 टा भी मन रखता on premises system। on premises system माने हमर कोन होछि ना, गोटे जोटा कि हमर लाइसेंस सिस्टम जोटा को on premises system, cloud service। So cloud system माने Azure cloud हो, AWS cloud हो, सेटा जो हमर cloud system। on premises माने हमर निजर गोटे सर्वर, गोटे कंपनी रो निजर सर्वर। on premises कहै परे हमर लैपटॉप, दैट्स अ on premises सर्वर। सपोज मु कहबी कि नहीं आमे on premises सर्वर रो क्लाउड को डाटा को ट्रांसफॉर्म करे अछि, तो मते फर्स्ट कोन करिया पड़िबो, फर्स्ट on premises सर्वर सर्विस अछि, जहाँ भी सिस्टम अछि ता सहित मते कनेक्ट करिया पड़िबो। फर्स्ट कनेक्ट करला परे आई हैव टू एक्सट्रैक्ट द डेटा, देन मु कोन करिबि ना, वंस मु डाटाटा पाइला परे देन मु क्लाउड को ताको ट्रांसफॉर्म कर परिबि कि क्लाउड, सॉरी, ट्रांसफर कर परिबि। ओके, बट टू fetching the data from on premises means मते फर्स्ट ताको कनेक्ट करिया पड़िबो। ओके, आई हैव टू एस्टैब्लिश वन कनेक्शन, देन ओनली आई कैन एक्सेस। सो on premises होची जोटा कि प्राइवेट on premises system, you can say that's a private system. Azure is also a private, okay, it's not like that, it's, but on premises is kind of, like basically ଯେମିତି ମୁଁ କହିଲି କି ନିଜ ସିଷ୍ଟମ, ନିଜ ପିସି ଟା ହଉଛି ଗୋଟେ kind of on premises server, GitHub ଗୋଟେ ଅଛି on premises, ଗୋଟେ different ତାର server ଅଛି, ତ ସେଥିରେ ଆମେ ୟୁଜ କରୁଛେ। cloud is related to something different। okay, so on premises ଟୁ ଆମେ cloud service କୁ ଆମେ ଯଦି କରିବା, on premises ହଉଛି ଗୋଟେ ମାନେ physical storage kind of thing। okay, तो फिजिकल स्टोरेज तुम गोटे जगह सर्वर रखा होची, सर्वर रे तुम डेटाटा अछि, देन सेथरे हमको ऑन प्रीमाइसेस सिस्टम माने कंपनी रो गोटे सिस्टम अछि, सेथिरे तुम डाटा को फेच करूछु। ओके, दैट इज ऑन प्रीमाइसेस सिस्टम, एंड तापरे तुम क्लाउड को सेटा को आनो में आनुछु, so that is on premises and cloud, the difference टा।
Sir, what is in data silos?
डाटा सिलोज इट्स लाइक डाटा रे हमें तो गोटे जगह रो हमें ट्रांसफॉर्म करूचे। ओके, डाटा मूवमेंट जोटा होची हमर डाटा ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन, दैट इज कॉल्ड अ डाटा सिलो। गोटे प्लेस रु आ गोटे प्लेस को हमें डाटा मूवमेंट करूचे। ओके, दैट इज कॉल्ड डाटा सिलोज। ओके, दैट्स अ ब्रिज। माने सपोज कोन होची कि सपोज डाटाटा डिफरेंट जगह रे अछि, माने जदि हमें गोटे Azure क्लाउड भीतर डाटा को रखुचे, दैट इज द सेम गोटे एनवायरनमेंट रे तमर डाटा अछि, बट डाटा तमर कोन अछि ना, गोटे ऑन प्रीमाइसेस एंड एज्योर भीतर अछि डाटाटा, तो देटा अछि डाटा सिलोस। माने कोन डिफरेंट जगह रे तमर डाटा अछि, डाटा तो सम सेम एनवायरनमेंट नै। फॉर एग्जांपल तम एग्जांपल दउछि कोन ना, सपोज तमे पेन ड्राइव रे डाटा रखिछो एंड तम लैपटॉप रे डाटा अछि। ओके, तमे डाटा ट्रांसफॉर्म करूछो, सो पेन ड्राइव रो डाटा जब ट्रांसफॉर्म करूछो निज लैपटॉप को, इट टेक्स टाइम कॉपी कला बेले कि जा भी कला बेले, बट जते बेले तमे लैपटॉप भितरे कि जे पीसी रे तमे गोटे फोल्डर आ गोटे फोल्डर को कॉपी की जब भी कट करूछो, कट पेस्ट करूछो, देन इट इज वेरी फास्ट बिकॉज़ तुम सेम सिस्टम भितरे अछि। बट जते बेले तमे गोटे अलगा गोटे एनवायरनमेंट रे, अलगा गोटे सर्वर हो, अलगा गोटे सिस्टम, अलगा गोटे एफटीपी जा भी हो, सेटा होछि कोन ता भितर एक ब्रिज जा भी अछि, ତାକୁ ସେଟା ଆମେ अवॉइड କରି ପାରୁଛୁ। ओके मींस ता भितर जो डाटा ट्रांसफॉर्म होची सेटा मेक इट मोर इजियर समटाइम्स कोन होना डाटा करप्ट हो जाए डाटा ट्रांसफॉर्म टा फेल हो जाए। ओके सो सेई जो प्रोसेस टा को दैट इज कॉल्ड डेटा सिलो। ओके गोटे डिफरेंट सिस्टम डिफरेंट सिस्टम रे आउटसाइड ऑफ दैट सिस्टम डाटा अछि तमे से डाटा को निज सिस्टम को आनुछ गोटे ट्रांसफॉर्म करछ। सो बेसिकली कोन गोटे ब्रिज रहउछ ता भितर। So basically it bridges the gap between data silos and enabling user to move and transform the data between on premises. So basically ये जो gap ता भीतर रहउछ तो gap टा को से fill करे so that हमें गोटे बाहर सिस्टम रो निज सिस्टम को डाटा टा को हमें ट्रांसफॉर्म कर परिबा। That is what it means. See, enabling user to move and transform the data between on premises and cloud service. So this is our main purpose. On premise और cloud service भितर हमें डाटा ट्रांसफॉर्म कर परिबा एंड एक्सटर्नल प्लेटफॉर्म आल्सो लाइक एक्सटर्नल प्लेटफॉर्म माने किछटा बाहर प्लेटफॉर्म्स अछि लेंथि कहय गले AWS होछि क्लाउड प्लेटफॉर्म्स अलगा अछि हमें Azure टू AWS को ट्रांसफॉर्म करियो चाहिए दैट आल्सो वी कैन डू। Okay so basically we have to set up and we have to establish the connection and we have to store it. Okay so these terms you have to remember. Orchestration is one term. ETL jota कहली that is one term you have to remember. On premises system this basically एटा होची तमरो understanding ପାଇଁ you have to know. Interview perspective like you can mention like for transforming the data from on premise system to the cloud system or cloud service. Okay then you have to use this Azure data factory. But ये जो term गुड़ाक ना if someone uses this term then you should not get confused. Okay so that's why you have to use this one. Orchestration you have to know basically you have to understand this orchestration on premises system एटा कौन नले कौन होबो ना like if someone will use this word then you will get confused.
सर इनसाइट कौन सा
Insight where is it? Okay and so the insights are readily yeah data तमरो insights माने कौन जेमति होची it is used to collect transform deliver the data so the insights are readily accessible and माने गोटे गोटे ऊपर किछि knowledge और insights. Okay मैंने तमरो perceptions हो कि किछि insights हो ता भीतर डाटा ऊपर so insights can be accessible for the analytics and decision making. Okay so basically insights होची जे तमरो गोटे डाटा तमे ट्रांसफॉर्म करूचो कि कलेक्ट करूचो जहां भी करूचो तमे सेटा इजीली एक्सेस कर परिबो. ओके माने गोटे जदी माने डाटा टा को गोटे
यूजफुल
गोटे
इंफॉर्मेशन हम
कनेक्ट
कौन पाई
कर
परिबा राइट
सॉरी सर
ना जितेंद्र मु कहतली हमें
हाँ
इनसाइट्स मींस यूजफुल इंफॉर्मेशन कौन पाई परिया
हाँ करेक्ट. ओके जेतोळे आमे ताको ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन करिबा माने त इजीली सेटा माने को करे इजीली सेटा इनसाइट्स तक पाई परिबा सो दैट आमे को डाटा ट्रांसफॉर्म ता हमको इजी हबो डाटा ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन ता हमर इजी हबो. ओके दैट इज व्हाई वी आर यूजिंग दिस इनसाइट्स. These all are the terms basically. Okay this is basically the English term. This is not something related to this data engineering. Okay but these are the terms. Orchestrate this is the data workflows also we'll learn this workflow in future in data bricks mostly it is used or orchestrate it uses everywhere. Okay and this on premises system basically तुमको एटा माने ए टर्म टा जानिया दरकार व्हाट इज ऑन प्रेमिस कौन. ओके तुम कि छोटे सिस्टम टा जोटा कि प्राइवेट
ऑर्केस्ट्रेट टा बुझी
सर्वर
पारलो पिलाने मीनिंग ना कोन के कोइ परियो कोन बुझिलो ऑर्केस्ट्रेट माने कोन
ऑटोमेट करिया
Process automatically.
Automatically, it will be transferred.
राइट वेरी गुड
Automatic workflow.
yeah correct. Okay so basically automatically जहाँ भी होची हमरो okay that is called orchestration. It's a kind of orchestration मान होची automation. Okay but most of the technical terms जेतବେଳେ यूज करछन what is orchestration process so that कोन होची ना orchestration माने हमें automatically data transform करूची ହେଲା तो এই টার্মটা থেকে বুঝি থাও কাହିଁକି ନା most of the team most of the interviewers they just ask you okay do you know what is orchestration or else like ଯେତେବେଳେ ତମେ ଗୋଟେ ମାନେ କିଛି ବି Google search କରୁଛ କିଛି AI ୟୁଜ କରୁଛ orchestration ଟର୍ମ ଟା ଆସିବ ବହୁତ ବହୁତ ଜାଗାରେ ଆସେ. Okay so you need to know because ତମେ ଜାଣିନଥିବ ସେ process ଟା କଣ then you will get confused. This is a very complex term but easy. It's a easy one like ତମର ଯାହା ବି ତମେ data transform କରୁଛ you can do it manually, ତମେ କୋଡ୍ ଲେଖି ବି କରିପାରିବ, manually କରିପାରିବ, but ଯେତେବେଳେ ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟ ଲେଭେଲରେ ତମେ ୟୁଜ କରୁଛ, ଗୋଟେ ଆପ୍ଲିକେସନ ଲେଭେଲରେ, ଇଟ୍ ଇଜ ଅଲୱେଜ ଅର୍କେଷ୍ଟ୍ରେଟେଡ, ସୋ ଦ୍ୟାଟ କଣ ହଉଛି, ଡାଟା ଅଟୋମେଟିକାଲି ଆସିଲା, ଲୋଡ ହେଲା, ଟ୍ରାନ୍ସଫର୍ମ ହେଲା, ଦେନ୍ ତମର ମାନେ ଏକ୍ସଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟ ହେଲା, ଲୋଡ ହେଲା, ଦେନ୍ ଟ୍ରାନ୍ସଫର୍ମ ହେଲା। ଓକେ, ଦ୍ୟାଟ ଇଜ ଅଟୋମେଟେଡ ପ୍ରୋସେସ। ୟୁ ଡୋଣ୍ଟ ହାଭ ଟୁ ମ୍ୟାନୁଆଲି ଯାଇକି ତମକୁ ମ୍ୟାନୁଆଲି ଯାଇକି ତାକୁ ରନ୍ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ, କି ମ୍ୟାନୁଆଲି ଯାଇକି କିଛି କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ। ୟୁ ଡୋଣ୍ଟ ହାଭ ଟୁ ଡୁ ଦ୍ୟାଟ। ଦ୍ୟାଟ ଇଜ କଲ୍ଡ ଅର୍କେଷ୍ଟ୍ରେସନ। ଓକେ, let's move to the next okay. Then what are the features of the data Azure Data Factory? Okay, so first thing is data integration. So basically data integration mane kon amaro, so integrate mane kon, amti kichi integrate korna, then why does this data integration come to the picture? Data integration mane kon hoche na, see, Azure Data Factory supports integration over 100 native connectors. So basically जोटा कि गोटे biggest advantages of Azure Data Factory over all the other ETL tools, କାହିଁକି ନା ଆର connectors ଟା ବହୁତ, ମାନେ ଆମେ ଚାହିଁବା କି any kind of on premises server हो, cloud हो, any kind of servers को ଆମେ connect କରିପାରିବା through the Azure Data Factory, जोटा कि गोटे biggest advantage of this Databricks, sorry, a Data Factory. Okay, sorry, that is a Data Factory. So जोटा कि biggest advantage, if someone will ask you what is the biggest advantage of Data Factory, this one is it supports the integration over 100 native connectors. So there are a lot of connectors we can connect using Azure Data Factory, and we can extract the data, जोटा कि अलग सिस्टम है ना, इवन नॉट इन इवन डेटाब्रिक्स, नॉट इवन अदर्स, जोटा कि Azure Data Factory रो एडवांटेजेस, एटा बहुत सारा कनेक्टर्स अछि, HTTP कनेक्टर्स अछि, देन तमर माने इन्फॉर्मेटिका दे हो, तापरे हमर सेल्सफोर्स हो, बहुत सारा कनेक्टर्स अछि Azure Data Factory। तो हम create करिवे Azure Data Factory, okay, most probably tomorrow I'll show you, okay, what are the connectors. You can see a lot of connector, or else तमे भी यदि create करिवो Azure portal, Azure को login करिवो, then you can also see that there are lot of connectors are available, जोटा कि हमर flexibility दउची कि डाटा हमर जोठी थाउ, we can connect it and we can fetch it. Okay, because sometimes कौन हुए ना, डाटा को पाइबा इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट, आम एमती कहनी कि आम गूगल रे जाउचे, डाउनलोड कर दउचे गोटे फाइल टा, एंड वी आर यूजिंग इट। ओके, डाटा इज नॉट दैट मच सिंपल, रियल टाइम रे जो डाटा यूज होची, इट इज वेरी वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू फेच, डाटा रा बहुत वैल्यू अछि, दैट यू नो दैट, लाइक फेसबुक हो, इंस्टाग्राम हो, दे आर सिंपली व्हाट, हाउ दे आर जनरेटिंग देयर रेवेन्यू, ओनली सो सेलिंग योर डेटा। ओके, सोशल मीडिया डेटा कौन पे होची, तम डेटा को सेल करा होची, एंड दे I mean they are selling your data, and they are getting the money, they are generating their revenue. So data are both value अछि, so that's why if you want to connect some data or connect, get the data, so you need to connect, you need some API access, there are a lot of things, but through the ADF there are a lot of connectors, so that ADF can extract the data from multiple sources, that there are many sources you can, ADF can get the data. Then including the cloud-based on-premises system, it includes the support for SQL database, NoSQL system, REST APIs, file-based data sources. There are a lot of things. SQL databases. There are a lot of SQL databases you can say. Okay, DB is Azure SQL is Cosmos DB, NoSQL is Cosmos DB. There are a lot of SQL databases you can connect. Okay, it's only if it is inside Azure, that is fine. But if it is outside Azure, I mean, if you want to connect to Oracle, if you want to connect to, I think that NoSQL DBs. So it has all the connectors. REST APIs. REST APIs is nothing but suppose mo koi ki matlab HTTP site को connect करेगा, that also you can do. We will see that आमे देखिबा GitHub को केमती आमे connect कर परिबा। Okay, suppose मोर गोटे data आनियार अछि GitHub रू, so what you are telling, like माने mostly आम भितर कोन सॉर्ट आछि कि आमे GitHub को log, you know GitHub, everyone, और कह कि GitHub जानना?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know.
No, right? Okay. Okay. Basically, I mean, it's a kind of code integration. I mean, code to store kariya pe we are using GitHub. There is a tool. Okay, code management. Sorry, code versioning pe हम use करछु. Okay. So GitHub रो suppose मु कोन करबी कि नहीं, मते GitHub रो data को आनियर अछि. So I can directly go and connect to the GitHub, and I can extract the data. जहाँ भी data हतरा थिबो, I can extract it. I can load it. Okay. So that is a kind of REST API. REST API mean STPP, जोटा कि हमारा API टा जोटा starts होची STPP रो, that is a REST API kind of. Okay. Then file based data structure. Suppose file based mean any file कुछ भी हम extract करे पड़े, any kind of file, JSON हो, CSV हो, then हमारा Parquet हो, Parquet I'll tell you what is that Parquet. Okay. Then हमारा Avro हो. There are a lot of file formats which is being used by the data engineers. So all the file based data structure we can extract. Then unified the data. Then it allows to unify the data workflows regardless the source of format. It is a foundational engine that the powers the data integration capabilities in Microsoft Fabric and Microsoft Unified Data Platform. So forget about this. So basically what it is doing, it is supports the for the SQL databases. So all these connectors, basically our main purpose होची किसी गोटे database connect करिवा कि NoSQL system को connect करिवा. Okay. So to get those data, we are using data factory. So which has a bigger capability that it our data to joti bhi thau. Almost I mean most of the connectors are available in data factory जोटे कि हमें तब connect करेगी, we can fetch the data and we can use it. But जोटा कि अलग system बना करे, how data factory makes him unique, like it has many connectors and which makes it more unique and more flexible to connect to that source and extract it. Okay, हमर डाटा को पाइले से ना हमें डाटा को ट्रांसफॉर्म करिबा कि लोड करिबा, हमें डाटा को हमें फेच कर परिबानी कि हम भीतर से फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी नहीं कि कैपेबिलिटी नहीं, वी कैन नॉट एक्सट्रैक्ट द डेटा, देन दैट वुड बी डिफिकल्ट. जोटा कि डाटा फैक्टरी अछि, इट हैज द कैपेबिलिटी टू कनेक्ट टू दोज सोर्स एंड टू फेच द डेटा. Okay, that's why makes it unique and most important, or you can say that this is the most benefit. Okay, this is the benefit, one of the benefit of this Azure Data Factory, and which makes it more useful compared to other platforms. बुझिएला एटा features of this.
जितेन
Okay.
सर
Mm-hmm.
एपीआई सर्विस रे नले किछि भी गिटहब रे किछि जदि मोर ये थिबो डाटा थिबो तो
Mm-hmm.
सेटाও केमते फेच करिवो माने
कनेक्ट
किछि
करिके आमे
क्रेडिट
देखियो सेटा कनेक्ट करिके सेटा आमे फास्ट को कनेक्ट करबो, गोटे कनेक्शन एस्टैब्लिश करबो पड़िबो. ठीक माने एपीआई को जाएगी, वी हैव टू
ओके
सेट अप द कनेक्शन. बेसिकली एंती गेटअप हो गेला, सपोज आई एम गिविंग एन एग्जांपल, गेटअप हो गेला तो आमे हेटी की जाएगी सेटी कोन करबा ना, एचटीटीपी सर्वर अच्छी, एचटीटीपी सर्वर को जाएंगे आमे सेटी यूजर नेम पासवर्ड देकी आमे ताको कनेक्ट कर परिबो. ओके, वी हैव टू क्रिएट अ पाइपलाइन and ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ setup କରିବା, initially configure କରିବା, so we have to give our username and password for connecting to GitHub to that folder. Then ଯାହା ବି ସେଠି files ଅଛି, we can extract it and we can load. Okay, जोटा कि आमे कोन देखो आमे तो GitHub login करूचे, डायरेक्टली आमे कोन साइट रे जाउचे github.com, then आमे login करूचे, but same login आमे करि परिबा from the Azure Data Fabric, Azure Data Factory. ओके, सो डेटा फैक्ट्री आमे जाएंगे, सेठी जाएंगे यूजर नेम पासवर्ड यूज करके हमें लॉगिन कर परिबे फ्रॉम अ डिफरेंट सिस्टम. एज अ डेटा फैक्ट्री कोन ओरे डिफरेंट सर्वर, डिफरेंट क्लाउड बेस्ड सिस्टम, सेठू आमे जाएंगे गिटहब को कनेक्ट कर परिबे, केमती यूजर नेम पासवर्ड देके हमें कनेक्ट कर परिबे. सो दैट इज हाउ वी विल सी. सेटा हमरो मु डेमो रे सेटा देखैबी हाउ टू कनेक्ट टू गिटहब. ओके.
माने डाटाबेस जेमति डाटाबेस को कनेक्ट कराबे जेमति कनेक्शन गोटे स्ट्रिंग दरकार तो
नहीं,
सर्विस भी
डेटाबेस
सेमति
कनेक्शन स्ट्रिंग आरे ते दरकार नहीं, कहना जेतु डा एचटीटीपी, सो डायरेक्टली यूजर नेम पासवर्ड रे हिजिबो. डेटाबेस रे कोन होतन, यू नीड ए कनेक्शन स्ट्रिंग, यू नीड यूजर नेम
हाँ
पासवर्ड होस्ट नेम देन पोर्ट, एटा सब जगह दरकार तमरो. ओके,
और
डेटाबेस रे.
सब
यस करेक्ट. तो सेति सब दरकार. डेटाबेस रे टिके कॉम्प्लेक्स थाए, काहे जेतु डेटाबेस रे बहुत सारा जिंस अछि जोटा कि यू हैव टू कनेक्ट, यू हैव टू यूज व्हाइल कनेक्टिंग. कनेक्शन स्ट्रिंग ता तारा बहुत दरकार, होस्ट नेम भी दरकार तुमको, यूजर नेम
हाँ
दरकार, पासवर्ड, then that port name, port
पोर्ट
number.
नंबर
Okay, सब दरकार. But एथरे कोन हो, it's slightly easy. Username password use करके you can connect, only you have to provide that URL.
ओके
Okay.
थैंक
Yeah. Sorry. Okay, any other doubts? Okay, I think we can stop here. Okay, then tomorrow we'll see other things, and I can show you the some of the demo. Okay, tomorrow how can we connect this Azure Data Factory and all, then we will see. Okay.
कार किसी doubts अच्छी? And I would say like you can create the Microsoft account if you don't have, or else if someone has already Microsoft account, then he can directly go to the portal.azure.com and he can log in using his Microsoft account username and password, and he can log in. Okay, directly you can go to this portal.azure.com and you can log in. Okay, any other doubts? There be doubts achi. Okay, you can I think you can go through these recordings and you can check it. Okay, and tomorrow you can come and you can ask me if you have any such doubts, any terms or any concept you don't understand, so you can ask me. Okay.
Sir, what is the benefit of a research manager? We can search from the search bar also, na?
Yeah, you can search from the search bar.
Then why we need it?
Resource manager or resource group?
Research manager.
No, resource
Sorry,
manager is
sorry,
something
sorry.
like
Research group.
resource
Sorry,
group.
research group.
Resource group. Yeah, that is what I told you, right? Suppose ମୁଁ ଏଠି ଗୋଟେ create କରିବି, suppose I will create one data factory, okay? But data factory ଯେତେବେଳେ create କରି ଦେଖ ଗୋଟେ subscription ଅଛି, ତା ଭିତରେ ବହୁତ ସାରା users ଅଛନ୍ତି, ବହୁତ ସାରା users same subscription use କରୁଛନ୍ତି, okay? Suppose ଏଠି କଣ ଏଇଟା ଆମେ ସିନା ନିଜେ use କରୁଛେ, ନିଜ account ରୁ use କରୁଛେ, you are the owner, but in real time ରେ କଣ ହଉଛି ନା, in one subscription there are lot of users are using. So suppose ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ data factory ର ଗୋଟେ create କଲି, ଆଉ ଜଣେ ଆସିଲା ସିଏ ବି ଆଉ data factory use କଲା, but how this will be different, because I am working ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ କଣ ଅଲଗା project ପାଇଁ କାମ କରୁଛି, another person is also working for different project, so ତା requirement is different, more requirement is different, so how we will make it different? So basically to say difference ମାନେ କଣ ଦି ଜଣକୁ ଗୋଟେ isolate କରିବା ପାଇଁ we are creating a data factory and we are maintaining some folder structure kind of thing, so that ମୁଁ ଯୋଉ research group ରେ କାମ କରିବି he cannot use it because he is from different project, I am from different project, but both are using it under a same subscription. ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଆମକୁ resource group ଗୋଟେ create କରିବା ଦରକାର, so that କି suppose let's say Geek got a project and another project we can say anything, okay? Let's say you are working in a project ABC and another one working in a project XYZ, both are part of same resource group, okay, sorry, same subscription. So in that case ତମେ କଣ କରିବ, ABC project ରେ ତମେ ଅଲଗା ଅଲଗା resources ତମକୁ ଦରକାର, XYZ ରେ ଅଲଗା ଅଲଗା resources ତମକୁ ଦରକାର, but requirement ଦି ଜଣଙ୍କ different, maybe as a data factory ଯୋଉଟା ବି ଅଛି ଦିଟାକ resource ରେ ଦରକାର, ଦିଟାକ project ରେ ଦରକାର, but requirement is different. So in that case you both can't use the same resources. So ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଆମକୁ କଣ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ, different resource group create କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ which is project specific. ବୁଝିଲା? To make it
Okay, sir.
isolated, isolate କରିବା
Yes,
ପାଇଁ
sir.
ଆମେ resource group use କରୁଛେ, ନହେଲେ ତ ଗୋଟେ simply ଆମେ ଯାଇକି ଏଠି open କରିଥାନ୍ତେ, ଆମେ create କରିଦେବା, then why it is needed? Because ଆମକୁ ସେ specific ଟା use କରିବାର ଅଛି, okay? ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ instance create କରୁଛେ, it can be multiple instance, ବୁଝୁଛ ନା? instance ମାନେ ହଉଛି ଯାହାର କି multiple instances ଆମେ create କରିପାରିବା, ଯେମିତି ଏବେ କୁହାଗଲା ଗୋଟେ instance ମାନେ same service but it can be used by the multiple users. तो मल्टीपल यूजर देखो यदि गोटे सर्वर मल्टीपल यूजर यूज करेंगे देन डेफिनेटली गोटे कौन देयर विल बी conflict. So basically to get rid of that what we are doing, we are creating separate resource group which is project specific. So এই project ପାଇଁ ଆମେ এই resource group use କରୁଛୁ, ଯାହା ବି ଆମେ resource create କରିବା এই resource group under ରେ create କରିବା, so that it is only tagged to that resources, ନହେଲେ conflict ହେଇଯିବ ନା, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay, I think we can wind up the class. Okay, we'll see tomorrow.
ଠିକ ଅଛି
Okay, you
ପିଲାମାନେ,
can
ଆଜି ପାଇଁ ଥାଉ ଏତିକି। ତମେମାନେ
ହଁ
ଦେଖ ଭିଡ଼ିଓଟା, ମୁଁ ସେଣ୍ଡ କରିବି। କ'ଣ
okay,
ଡାଉଟ୍ କାଲି ଡିସ୍କସ୍ କରିବା ଆଉ। ଠିକ ଅଛି।
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you,
okay,
sir.
okay,
Thank
yeah,
you,
Thank
sir.
you, Jiten, for your time. Okay.
Thank
yeah,
you.
no issues, yeah.
Thank you, sir.